Okay, we've got lots to talk about with UFOs today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, so drones are now in Japan, apparently. We don't know much about this. I haven't seen a lot of reliable information about what's going on in Japan, but multiple people are talking about this. So I can't wait for more developments to be made known in English-speaking parts of the world, so that we can get better updates on exactly what is going on there. But yeah, they seem to be having the mystery drones in Japan. Meanwhile, we have an uptick in drone sightings over nuclear power plants, according to the War Zone. The number of drone flyovers of nuclear power plants in 2024 nearly doubled in just 1 week, from December 10th to December 17th, according to data provided to the War Zone by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Between January 1st and December 10th, nuclear facility licensees reported a total of 15 drone events. As of about 1 p.m. on December 17th, that number had jumped to 26. So that's interesting. We've got mystery drones over nuclear facilities in greater and greater numbers. People like Richard Dolan are wondering why we can't bring any of these things down.
You've taken 5,000 reports, and not one of these has come down. You know, a little over a week ago, in the Russian-Ukrainian war, the Ukrainians fired 6 ATACMS missiles into Russian territory. And these are highly sophisticated, dangerous missiles. The Russians, for their part, claimed that they shot 2 of them down and disabled the other 4 with electronic countermeasures, or ECM. You might choose to believe the Russians or not. It's up to you. But it's definitely true that they are very sophisticated with their ECM capability. They use it every day in the course of the war in Ukraine. Now, are we supposed to believe that the United States ECM capability is so bad that we cannot take down a single drone?
Yeah, that's weird, right? So, I mean, there's a few. That's not a great screenshot of Richard. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's a few possible explanations for that. One, we could take them down, and we don't because they're ours, or at least they belong to the control group, if nothing else. And as we know, the control group exerts great influence over the military. They can order the military around. They can go shoot at UFOs. They can, send jets out to shoot at UFOs and bring them down. So why not order the military and whoever else, police, to not shoot at UFOs or use their countermeasures to bring them down? So that's one possibility. Another is that it's, NHI. Then there's probably other possibilities as well. But if it is NHI, maybe we can't use our countermeasures against them because that's not how they operate. They operate with different technology, and we can't do that. Now, I just said, we've shot down UFOs before. So if this was NHI, technology, why can't we shoot them down, right? I guess there are some craft we are unable to shoot down, some UFOs that we can shoot down and some we can't. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, let me know what you think about it all. Meanwhile, do we have the abilities to bring these things down at all? Is the question that this New Jersey mayor is asking.
The administration has brought in technology to track and whatnot. The reality is they've brought in technology that's only capable of tracking Class 1 and Class 2 drones.
Tracking, not bringing them down.
Not Class 3 and Class 4. These drones that we're talking about that we're seeing are large drones. They're not your typical drone. When I say drone, you typically think about something the size of your hand. These are in no way, shape, or form that. So it seems to me that it's very convenient. They're bringing the technology, and that's not going to find an answer to this problem. They're going to be able to say, American public, don't believe your eyes. You're only seeing planes and stars and 1,000 regular, legally operated drones. It's plausible deniability, and we're sick of this.
Yeah. So people keep on seeing these things, but disinformation keeps on getting out there. There's new information or disinformation, possibly. I mean, use your own discernment. But there's a guy that was on a podcast who claims he was on the UAP task force, and he says, "Well, I'll let him tell it in his own words."
Everything looked like it was kind of being developed as a hip pocket. If we ever need 9/11 united the nation, right?
Yeah.
Do we ever need to unite people, or do we ever need to instill fear in people? It was towards that. There was no indication.
Yeah, all the video and everything, gathered by ATIP and UAP Task Force of UFOs and stuff. It was all to serve as a hip pocket, last ditch. If we needed to galvanize the public toward some end or other. He gives a couple of different examples of what that end might be toward, what they may need to galvanize the public to whip them up against, whoever. And they would use these videos as that. And he's saying there's no aliens. In his time with the UAP task force, he saw no evidence of aliens. Well, Travis Taylor, who was actually on the task force, who was the chief scientist of the task force, says total BS. This person was never a member of the UAP task force that I recall. People are confusing being on the RS space page versus actually being on the task force. This is just one more antibody nonsense. Antibody nonsense, okay? And by the way, the UAP task force never said anything was or was not aliens. Get your BS straight. And it goes on, and there's back and forth, Travis Taylor firing back at the average Chris and engaging in a lengthy debate. And I'll let you read all of that at your leisure. But yeah, so is this guy here spreading disinformation knowingly or unknowingly, or is he just a guy that was in the what did Travis call it, the RS space page, and is sharing his thoughts and as part of this satellite of the UAP task force. He never saw any alien stuff. And is using the word alien itself kind of a dodge, because people use NHI now for a reason, non-human intelligence, because we don't know if they're aliens, being intelligent beings from another planet, right? You'd have to have a lot of data and evidence to show that they were actually from another planet, right? But you can say, hey, they're not human. They're definitely NHI, whatever that means. Maybe they live on Earth. Maybe they're crypto-terrestrials or ultra-terrestrials or other dimensionals or whatever. Then, in my mind, there's probably a blend of all of that, as well as actual aliens from another planet in our universe. But you're saying he never saw any, evidence of aliens. Is either, could be a dodge, could be just his take on things. But it is interesting that this information is coming out. But meanwhile, people keep on seeing UFOs. Car-sized UAP filmed over New Jersey, which seems to be carrying some type of payload or supplies.
Oh my gosh, I don't like that. Stop. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
What's on the back of it?
Oh my gosh.
What is on the back of that thing? Ew.
Yeah, they're interpreting this thing as having some sort of payload or supplies. Does that look like a helicopter? And you'd think they'd be able to hear the rotors and stuff if that was a helicopter. If that's a mystery drone, it's a great capture. It's got like a spotlight or something coming out of it, or maybe that's just the lights that it has. It almost looks like it has too many lights. I know that's kind of the way of these mystery drones, right? They're decked out like Christmas trees, like they're trying to get your attention. But, who knows? Maybe this thing has a mundane
my gosh.
reason. Maybe that is just a helicopter or a conventional drone of some sort. Of course, if this is in one of the areas of New Jersey with a drone ban, then maybe not. Meanwhile, in Worcester, Massachusetts, the UFOs are screwing with the electronics. This is one more possible example of these objects interfering with our technology.
Worcester, Massachusetts right now. Lights are going crazy.
Yeah, I've shown multiple videos of these things interfering with our electronics, potentially. I mean, who knows? Maybe this has a mundane explanation. But, I have shown multiple of these videos of stuff like this happening. So is that what's going on? Are these things interacting or interfering with our technology? And is this an example of that? By the way, I didn't know there was a town called Worcester in Massachusetts. Is that how you say that? Like the sauce? I don't know, but Merrick von Rennenkamp is saying aliens, or NHI at least, is definitely on the table for these things. Yeah, and I'll let you read this at your leisure, but Merrick von Rennenkamp, who is a great journalist covering a lot of this stuff, is not ruling out the beings being an explanation for all of this. And as time goes on, I'm increasingly leaning toward that point of view. I don't know if the UFO control group could keep this up for this long, and for what reason. If they're trying to send a message, then whoever they're trying to send a message to is awfully slow on the uptake. And also the UFO control group, I mean, they have other ways to send messages, right? I mean, they just take people out, or send messages in other very non-subtle ways. This is a weird thing for them to do. I don't quite get this. Just so people are aware, the drones are very much still present in New Jersey, says North Pole. Videos taken by Reddit user Square Ad 6948 at around 6:15 p.m. near Essex Fells, New Jersey. The user checked the flight radar around the same time and couldn't see anything that could explain them being planes. Okay, well,
another one over here.
Let's just take them at their word for the moment and see what these objects are. Yeah, more blinking lights in the sky. Do we get better resolution at any point? There we go. And you can definitely see how that could be a plane, but according to this post, they check the flight radar, the transponder or whatever, flight tracker, and it's not showing up. So is this a mystery drone? I wish we had a government we could go to to trust their answers, right? Giving us reliable data about what's going on. But we don't, so we have to kind of trust the people that are seeing this stuff. But, people share stuff that's BS, and, there's the telephone game. Stuff gets, misconstrued from one post to another, or represented. Here's one New Jersey mayor also expressing frustration with the government and also wondering why we can't shoot these things down.
Like I am, very disturbed by Homeland Security. When you have the Secretary of Homeland Security saying there's nothing unusual about all of this, of course it's unusual. Speak truth to power. Talk to your president and tell him he needs to brief the nation, and DOD needs to step up. And Homeland Security, unfortunately, has done far too little. The state police wants to do more. They need the tools, and local law enforcement needs the tools too. But why can't they bring one of these down?
Yeah, why can't they? And, I'm still on the fence about whether they should. I mean, if this is NHI, if this is the phenomenon, and this is an effort, a peaceful effort at disclosure, to force the government to disclose, then maybe we shouldn't be shooting down, peaceful messengers, right? But we don't know who's doing it or why, and we may have to shoot one of these things down and figure out what the hell it is before we know whether we should shoot it down. So, obviously, probably not the right approach if it turns out not to be something we should shoot down. But yeah, let's see. There's just so much going on. This is captured by former governor, this crazy plane-sized looking mystery drone.
Former Governor Larry Hogan shot this video last night.
I'm hearing music there, but yeah, look at that crazy mystery drone supposedly filmed by a governor. I mean, it looks just like a plane. I mean, if somebody told me that was a plane, I'd believe them, but you would think that a former governor would have heard that thing, right? And look at that. Is that the same object? Again, it looks like it has too many lights.
Oh, just 25 miles from the nation's capital, as he pointed out. And then there's this.
I've never seen that. Wow, they just passed each other. Yeah, I've never seen that before.
New Jersey Senator Andy Kim shared this video of drones he shot yesterday. Federal authorities insist most of these sightings are actually legally manned aircraft. As for numbers, the FBI says it's received more than 3,000 tips from the public about drone sightings. In a joint statement, the FBI and Department of Homeland Security said, quote, "We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or public safety threat."
Yeah, we don't know what they are. They're not ours. They're not a foreign power. We don't know what they're doing, but they're definitely not a threat. And I'm not saying they are, but there are things that make you wonder. There's the water situation in New Jersey that I've talked about, and there's things like this. This is a tragic example. A tragic thing that happened. There was a drone event going on for the holidays. And, I don't want to make too much of this if this turns out to be nothing, but there was a tragic accident related to this drone event. And there is an anomalous object in this video. Maybe you can explain it. Maybe it's a bird or something. But during this tragic thing that happened, there is this weird thing right there. That thing right there. What is that? Was that a UFO that was interfering with the drones that caused this tragic accident with these drones falling out of the sky? Again, I don't want to sensationalize this. There was a real tragic accident that happened because of this. But what is that thing? If these things are interfering with our technology, is this an example of that? What is that thing? If you guys have an explanation, let me know what you think that object is. Really interesting looking thing there. I don't know if that's related or not, but yeah, so it's like you can't say it's not a threat because we just don't know. We just don't know what these things are. Anyway, but okay, let's talk about what are people in Congress saying? The Representative Eli Crane, who was a former Navy SEAL, is saying, let's see, let's get to it. Key Crane, clearly I don't think everything's fine based on what we're seeing, how concerned the American citizens are. That's interesting. That's good. I'm glad that he's not satisfied by how things are going. Meanwhile, we have Comer, who is pro-select committee. He's, he and Anna Paulina Luna and others have been talking about getting a select committee going based on UAP, which is very exciting. And Anna Paulina Luna says, I think that you should shoot that shit down. That's my opinion on that. If I were in charge, I'd give the automatic keep down order. About the select committee, she says, yes, absolutely, they could do that. What I'm more interested in, however, is that you have the AG, the incoming FBI, the Secretary of State, who led UAP investigations, Marco Rubio, who I have a feeling will get confirmed. It's an era of transparency. Of course, Matt Laszlo says we've heard that one before. Indeed we have, Matt. But people that are not friendly with the incoming administration, who are not on that side of the aisle anyway, like Danny Sheehan and various others, are still very bullish on the possible transparency of a Trump and a Trump administration on UFO stuff. So there's no reason to get political about this. People on both sides of the aisle are optimistic about what might be possible in terms of transparency under a Trump presidency. And I sure hope that's the case. I hope on day one, he throws the gates open and gives us, transparency and accountability for these black programs and information about what the hell is going on. What are the beings doing? What is the interaction between the UFO control group and the beings? But failing that, we do need a select committee. We do need a dedicated body in Congress dealing with this issue with subpoena power, etc. To that end, we need people like Comer, the U.S. House Oversight Committee chair, on this, right? He says the select committee is something that's being discussed. So we'll see what happens, which is encouraging, right? but it's not all encouraging. Because Matt Laszlo says, well, would you be supportive of the UAP caucus hiring David Grush? Comer does not know who Grush is. Well, I don't know, Comer says. I can't remember the guy you're talking about exactly. Oh, yeah, Comer, who would be, you know, a key part of forming the UAP Select Committee, does not know who David Grush is. Of course, that's why he let Tim Burchett take the reins at the first main UAP hearing with David Grush. Is because Comer is not a UFO guy and Tim Burchett is. So I guess that's just not Comer's thing. And at least he did let Tim Burchett lead that effort. And so he wasn't standing in the way of it. And he does seem to be pro-select committee. So, you know, encouraging and discouraging at the same time. Last but not least, I thought I'd share this with you. I've been seeing this make the rounds on social media the last couple of days, and I don't know what to make of this. I've seen people try to debunk it as headlights, and there's a big back and forth over what the hell we're looking at with this video. But it starts with these, you know, orbs in the sky, or what looks like orbs in the sky. And then you see this weird movement and you know, lights doing weird things. Well, yeah, what the what, guys? What is going on in this crazy video? Is this legit? Is this anomalous? Is this BS? Is this a mundane event that, you know, the camera is just interpreting as craziness? Is this a UFO battle in the sky? Is this, you know, what is that? What is that, guys? We see these lights in the sky all in a row. And, you know, the cars are just going about their business. You know, it's not like people are standing in the street, you know, saying, oh my God, look at that thing. Which, you know, if they were, you know, able to see it, you would kind of expect something like that to happen. But, you know, they're kind of stopped there, but I guess that's probably at a light. Yeah, what is this, guys? What is this, guys? Let me know your thoughts on this craziness and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, and of course the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. And if you wanted to share this video on social media, that'd be super groovy. You can support Cosmic Road in a bigger way by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. You can also buy a hoodie or a t-shirt in the merch store. See the link below. There's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.